This Week with Bob Mueller on News 2.
This week,
this is about people power. It shows that people power is the ultimate power, not the decision of Speaker Cameron Sexton.
Justin Jones,
let's get back to work! Yeah!
And Justin Pearson reinstated after being expelled from the House by Republicans for breaking protocol.
To remove individuals who are a threat to themselves or to our society, to remove them from access to weapons.
Governor Bill Lee wants GOP lawmakers to draft a tougher order of protection law to keep dangerous people from buying guns. So far, Republicans aren't buying what the governor is selling.
Shots fired. Shots fired again.
It happened again. Another deranged person legally buys an AR-15 assault-style weapon and opens fire, this time in a Kentucky bank, killing 5.
Sorry for your loss.
The sympathy of the nation pours into Nashville, embracing the victims and survivors of the Covenant School shooting. More in our This Week cover story.
God's word is clear that homosexuality is a sin.
And after weeks of heated debate, the Franklin Pride Festival gets the go-ahead when the mayor casts the tie-breaking vote. Hello again and welcome to another edition of This Week. 2 black state representatives expelled by Republicans are reinstated. Governor Bill Lee wants a stronger order of protection law to keep dangerous people from buying guns, and the nation lends a shoulder for Nashville to lean on. We begin with reinstatement.
Inside the historic courthouse, Nashville's leaders fought back.
We witnessed a miscarriage of justice and an egregious assault on our democracy, which resulted in over 70,000 Davidson County voters, our voters, being silenced when our representative was expelled.
The special meeting centered around Justin Jones after he was expelled from his House seat for interrupting the session to protest for gun reform. Tennessee's House Speaker compared it to the January 6th insurrection, despite no arrests or injuries.
If this is not what rises to a level of expulsion, then tell me what does.
4 days later,
That voice was taken away this past week, so let's give them their voice back, and I'd call on this body to vote unanimously right now to do just that.
Our community members are more than capable of selecting their representative, and their will should have never been undermined.
And with that, the unanimous vote from the Metro Council met with cheers. From the historic courthouse, a walk of victory.
The Tennessee 3 will always be with the community.
Hundreds pouring in front of the state capitol.
So we start here with this movement, making sure that we get Justin Jones, Justin Pearson back into their rightfully elected seat.
Justin Jones moving with a crowd full of supporters as he walks up the steps of the Capitol.
This is about people power. It shows that people power is the ultimate power, not the decision of Speaker Cameron Sexton.
Where he was sworn in. Yeah! Inside, his message on the House floor still defiant.
Mr. Speaker, I want to welcome the people back to the people's house. And so I come here to stand with my constituents, with the people of Tennessee, to say that no unjust attack on democracy will happen unchallenged.
And a new call for action, asking for House Speaker Cameron Sexton to resign.
His actions on Thursday, he thought would happen as all his other abuses of power happened. He thought that no one would pay attention, that no one was watching, that they had ultimate authority. But they forgot that the people will show up and we're watching.
And taking today as confirmation he's on the right path. Maya Owens, News 2.
Expelled Memphis Democrat Justin Pearson has also been reinstated. The county commission in Memphis followed the lead of Nashville's Metro Council and voted unanimously 7-0 to reinstate Pearson. The Republican members of the commission skipped the meeting.
Justin J. Pearson reinstated as a Tennessee representative Wednesday afternoon.
Let's get back to work! Yeah!
The Shelby County Commissioner's specially called meeting filled with supporters standing shoulder to shoulder. The 7 votes needed by commissioners cast in a matter of minutes.
You have done well by us in making sure that our voices can be heard.
Following his reinstatement, Pearson gave a rousing speech to the crowd.
We speak together. Yeah. We
fight together. Yeah. And so the message for all the people in Nashville who decided to expel us. You can't expel hope. Yeah. You can't expel justice. Yeah. You can't expel our voice.
Fellow Tennessee Democratic lawmakers showed up in support, including U.S. Congressman Steve Cohen, who Pearson interned for.
The New York Times today has two editorials facing each other. Both of them are about Tennessee and saying democracy was thwarted in Tennessee and things are changing, and there's a picture of Justin on each page of the New York Times editorial.
But for now, Pearson is still an interim representative, as a special election needs to be held.
People fighting to stop a Pride festival lost their battle. They claimed last year's Franklin Pride Festival was explicit. The mayor broke a tie to grant a permit after hours of debate. Here's News 2's Adam Mincer.
What used to be a formality turned into a cultural flashpoint in Franklin, Tennessee.
I'm sure you don't want to see me in a bondage gear outfit.
They have done everything they can to get this proved.
For the past 2 years, it was simple for Franklin's LGBT Pride Festival to get a permit. But this year, dozens went to City Hall to make an emotional plea to leaders to not give the group that permit again.
I don't want to see a guy twerking in front of me. I'm 60 years old.
Find a private venue or a safe space that you say you desire.
God's word is clear that homosexuality is a sin.
And a smaller group made a passionate case for city officials to keep Pride.
If you've ever had a child who's wanted to kill themselves because they don't fit and because these haters are out here, just please show us some love.
I hear folks talk about being forced to accept things that go against their beliefs. Nobody's forcing you to accept anything.
Franklin Pride President Clayton Klutz says Franklin may be a conservative city, but Pride is important to a lot of people who live there.
It means everything. I mean, there are a lot of LGBT people who live here. We just want to get together with our community members in a free, open, welcoming environment and celebrate ourselves.
He says they tried to avoid controversy by not having drag performers at the event, but still, the anti-Pride comments kept coming.
It's a different environment now, and it was really a surprise to us.
He says this backlash reminds him of some of the first Pride parades in the country.
That somehow gay people are dangerous to children and that they're predators, and it's a false narrative that shouldn't be perpetuated.
Klutz says a lot of the anti-Pride speakers haven't been to Franklin Pride, instead putting their feelings about other Pride events onto the one that could happen in their hometown.
It's only a matter of time before it turns out into what you would see in other major cities.
And while he voted to approve the permit, the mayor said,
if you violate the trust that we're placing in you right now, that I will work as hard as I work every single day to make sure that that event never happens in Franklin again.
In Franklin, Adam Mincer, News 2.
Now to our This Week cover story. A flood of cards shows people around the country are grieving with Nashville since the deadly Covenant School shooting. Here's News 2's Maya Owens.
Sorry for your loss.
They are words
We are grieving with you
of comfort.
Each one of them is a masterpiece. Carefully done, and you can feel the love.
One by one,
We all feel so sorry for you.
the letters started pouring in.
We were devastated when we heard on Tuesday morning, we are sending love. A lot of creativity and soul in each one, and from all over the 50 states.
Condolences to the city of Nashville after the Covenant School shooting. Elementary school students took the time to create.
It's not hard not to use the word love. It's genuine, it's sincere, there's no expectation.
Decorated with hearts, prayers, and kindness.
And I've talked to family members about this, of our victims, and they are fascinated and frankly said tell them that they're comforted.
The mayor's office receiving hundreds.
The pain you must be going through is unbearable, but you will get through this.
A representation of just how much love can shine through tragic times.
And the fact that you've got school kids from all over America being connected with their hearts to Nashville and to them and to the families, it's inspiration for all of us. And hopefully a moment of rededication.
Rededication to what's important. Coming together as a community as these children hope for a better future.
We are sending love. We are praying for you with lots of hearts, drawn carefully at the bottom of the card.
Maya Owens, News 2.
Stay with us. This Week continues in a moment.